Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today guys, we're going to be jumping down into the charts for Zilliqa, see what's been going on most recently and what I would expect to happen next. Some data has come in here, has changed things, so it's important that I kind of spend a little bit of time here just to kind of get everyone up to speed with what I'm seeing happening inside the chart. So if I get into this and you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, links in the description down below. Fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not go ahead and check it out. Right, let's get into this. Right, so Zilliqa paired up with USDT hourly chart. Binance is the data source. Let's get into what's going on here. So essentially we were tracking a large ABC correction, right, coming down, lots of noise, lots of wave counts, etc. Now what's really froze everything are the 5 waves that happened here, and this is pretty much consistent across pretty much most altcoins and Bitcoin. There were 5 waves going up. Now when you have 5 waves coming up from a low point here, this generally only means you're going to be in a 5-3-5 structure, okay, a very corrective zigzag pattern. Now however, you on a zigzag pattern, you don't lose this low point here, which we obviously have done right now. So it means that those 5 waves I haven't positioned in the right place, and therefore I'm going to have to just go back briefly here and make sense of these 5 waves so that we can make sense of what's going on right now going further forward. Okay, otherwise we're going to have a huge host of problems further down the line. So the only way that I can look at this and see that we have sense of those 5 waves are to utilize what we've got going on this side. So I'm going to tidy this up a little bit. I'm going to remove that. We don't need that one. Okay, and I'm just going to move this A wave out of the way here for a second. Okay, so the way I see this is basically that we have we have 3 waves come up, we have 3 waves come down, and we have 5 waves come up. This, to me, then becomes a 3-3-5 in an expanding flat correction, okay? And the reason for that is that we move from a low point to a high point. We've gone down lower than origin, and then we've gone up higher than the A, okay? So an expanding flat. That then basically allows us to account for those 5 waves inside the structure and still see what's going on here as exactly what it is, a pullback down in a really significant way. Okay, perfect. This now gives us a good standing point to then actually start to reanalyze what's going on in this point here, okay? So what we want to do is we want to check a couple of things. I'm going to remove this ABC off. Okay, and I'm going to zoom in on this moment here, okay? So we can see that we have basically 5 waves coming down, and it's pretty clear that it's 5 waves, but there's no real sub-wave counting at this level. But basically we have 1, 2, 3 coming down here. I think we could actually probably chalk up 3, 4, and 5 at that point. Then we have, some kind of ABC structure coming up, and we're pointing back down again. But, whether we want to call this 5 waves, this is yet to kind of be, I guess it's open to discussion at that point. We also have an interesting move just here. I just want to check one thing before I go ahead and take it. So, yeah, I mean, you could argue that that is 5 waves there, and then we're tracking 5 here. So I think the whole thing might actually be a much larger 5-wave move. So let me also check that. If this is our end position, we bounced up to about here. We're currently down on a 1-to-1 ratio. So that is probably going to be a corrective ABC move, and it's pretty much exactly like a 5-3-5, I think, because I think there could be 5 waves to be chalked up inside here. Now, we will probably kind of come down a little bit lower towards 9.413. That being the 1.618. Inside here, we've got a lot of interesting moves in themselves. We'll also go ahead and just check a few of these. We might as well whilst we're also here, right? And here we can see that this one has our 5-wave move. Okay, so this is looking like a 3-3-5 right here. So let me go ahead and show you what I think is going on. We basically pull this down. We've probably got it from here to here, actually. It's probably going to be the better way to go. So we have the ABC that way. Then we also have our A, B, C up here, okay? And then we're in 5-wave move coming down at this particular moment. So here we can see that we've... where did I take this from? Took it from over there, didn't I? So if that's actually wave 1, that's becoming wave 2, 3. So that's an interesting one because that makes it 5 waves. So maybe not that, but bear with. Let me just mark this up. So we've got basically 1, 2, currently 3. we bounce up for 4, we move down for 5. Okay, so it's hard to know exactly where that's going to go just yet, but there are some interestingly low levels that we could be, looking for here in that structure. Now, if that is the case, it is a 5-3-5 move, but I think I'm not overly liking the patterns here. Ultimately, I think the ABC structure is a much better fit, and we just got 5 waves inside the C wave. But yeah, we'll have to see how that one plays out. We might get a slight overextension here, but I would not expect it to go down to 8.77 without first bouncing up. Okay, although if I do come up into our daily chart, the 8.77 is an area that I'm expecting to hit, but it isn't something I was expecting to go straight away into. I would expect to bounce before we have that move down a little bit lower. Here you can obviously see the scale of this. It is a large ABC move. If this is in fact the high point up here, then we should be thinking about what happens next here. Let me just grab the low to the high. Bring this over to our current B wave bounce. The most probable area for us to now come down to is 6.069. Okay, so I've kind of jumped around a little bit on the moves. Okay, so this is the daily chart. This is giving us our what's going to happen over the next kind of couple of weeks kind of look. Okay, I'm expect to bounce up on the smaller time frames. I'm not saying that we're going to drop straight down here. Okay, so this is like a 2-week play probably, maybe a bit more. It's hard to say for sure. And we'll be moving down towards 6 cent. 6 cent puts us right slap bang in the middle of my targets between 4.2 and 8.77. And yeah, I would expect us to bounce up and then pull back down into this range. So essentially inside here, whatever wave counts they become, you should be an ABC move. We might refine this a little bit, but on the 1-to-1 ratio, that's kind of what we would look for here overall. This actually then puts us into a wave 2 low, as you can see, and then I would expect a nice wave 3 high, taking us up towards $1 before we go into a 4th and a 5th wave. Okay, that's what we're looking out for. Now, that's a little bit of speculation across the months, because it's not going to be quick to move up to $1. That's going to take several months. But if this is a wave 1 and this is a wave 2, then wave 3 should be at least $1. And if it's only a C wave, well, it's not as high as that. It's like 60 cent or so. So there's still some really good kind of moves to be had here. And again, we've gone 5 waves up, right? So there's only a couple of patterns that start with 5 waves up. We obviously have the corrective pattern, which is a 5-3-5, and this being our 3-wave move, taking us to 6 cent. And the 5 waves would take us up to 60 cent, or potentially $1. Okay, those 5 waves could take us to $1, and if they take us to $1, we expect 3 waves afterwards going down, and then a further 5 waves going up to potentially $3.40. Okay, so some interesting things going on here depending on the structure. So I'm bullish longer term, there's bearish short term, because we are going to be tracking down. You kind of ignore that fact, we are coming down. Okay, so that's kind of what's going on here on the larger time frames, but do expect volatility on the hourly. We're looking for a bit of a bounce now for a 4th and a 5th wave going down lower, and then from there we might have a larger bounce going up in an ABC fashion before finally pulling back down into the low ranges towards 6 cent. Guys, I'm going to leave the video there. If you have found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all this said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.